Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Resilient with your host, me, Wintertooth100, and in today's episode we are going to be working on this castle. In the last episode, just behind that wall over there, we sunk the island, so there's no more island over there. But before we get started, be sure to check out the links in the description below. You will find links to the other members of this server. They are posting videos. You'll find Joe / and Ilokibu. And just so we could see, the island is gone. I sank it and planted a bunch of life, so you know we're good with life over there. But while you're down there looking at the links to their channels, be sure to check out my Twitter and my Twitch. Twitter is where you'll find all of my updates for if anything's going on or special. If I want to just share images of things going on, you'll find them over on Twitter. And for the Twitch, you'll find the live stream. That's where I do my live streaming at. For Sundays and Tuesdays. Sundays we do 10 a.m. Pacific time, and Tuesdays we do 4 p.m. Pacific time. And yeah, that's where we'll do that. While you're down there and fiddling around with that little section, be sure to hit that notification button. That'll let you know when each of my videos come out, which is every single day except for Sundays. Alright, now we got that out of the way. I have something that I talked about at the end of the last episode, but because I know a good majority of people who do watch my videos don't watch all the way through to the last bits of them, there was a poll in there that I was talking about, and there's going to be a poll on the screen right now. I am curious. I'm wanting to do a second series, and there was another series I was doing for a while called One Life, and a part of doing that series, it was a survival hardcore world, and I know I had some people who are big fans of it, but I want to know your guys' opinion. Do you want to see me do two series? Which two series do you want me to do? We are going to be doing Resilient no matter what. So Resilient is going to be one of those two series. But you guys kind of have a choice for what the second series is. Would you prefer to see One Life continued, or would you like to see me start, or I guess technically restart, an old project that used to be a series I did on my original channel, and it had a lot of traction and was doing really well, but the world file itself got corrupted, and I didn't have the heart to just start over. But I thought we could start over for this YouTube channel, and that is rebuilding Skyward Sword. That's right. I originally was building a replication in Minecraft of the Zelda game Skyward Sword, and it was doing really well. In fact, it was doing really well. But because of I had my computer crashed, and something about it crashing corrupted the world save for that game. I lost some other stuff too, but that was the biggest victim. Was my series that was doing really well just kind of stopped and died, and I didn't have the heart to pick it up anymore. I was a little broken by losing my baby. That series was my baby, and I lost it, and I didn't have the heart to continue, and we didn't. But now I'm feeling like I definitely want to finish that. I want to go back and complete that project I started. Granted, I'll have to start completely over, but I'm totally willing to do that. And so I'm curious, would you guys, of the idea of doing multiple series, first, would you like to see me do multiple series, or would you like me to keep doing strictly Resilient? Or, if you do want me to do another series, would you prefer One Life, or would you prefer Skyward Sword, rebuilding Skyward Sword, which is a classic Zelda game for anybody who may or may not know. I guess not technically classic, it came out for the Wii, but you know, it's a great game, and I enjoyed it a lot. But yeah, we'll be doing that instead of One Life, depending on what you guys would prefer to see. So just let me know in the poll. It should say something along the lines of Resilient only, One Life, or Skyward Sword. Those will be your three options. If you click on Resilient, I'll take that as you mean that I should only do Resilient, nothing else. If you click on One Life, I'll take that as you want me to do multiple series and One Life is the other one you want me to do. And if you click on Skyward Sword, same deal, you want me to do multiple series, but the other series will be building Skyward Sword. So just let me know in that poll, or even down in the comments if you have other ideas or suggestions. I read all the comments. Yeah, it's kind of a big spiel for that poll, but I am super interested in doing a second series. I'm a little disheartened with One Life, because we were doing this multiplayer series just started, and so I was way more interested in doing this. And now that I've had some time away from One Life, I've been needing the kick in the butt to have to do that one again. But it's not to say I don't like One Life, it's just that my motivation for it went way down when the ability to do multiplayer with my friends here finally became an option. And I've been struggling to make myself do that series just because I know doing it takes me away from multiplayer with my friends, but I think it's important for my channel to have a variety, and both One Life and Skyward Sword, I believe, add to the channel and add to the theme of what we're doing here. One Life is kind of like your classic single player world where, you know, we're going to be making kingdoms and giving lore to those kingdoms, and it's kind of an indefinite world. It can go on forever, technically. But Skyward Sword is a finite project. Once it's complete, then that's it. It's complete. But the flip side of that is, once that is complete, I can offer up downloads to that world for a complete replication of that map. Not to say I can't do downloads for One Life. It's just, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable giving away incomplete things, and it feels like One Life will always be incomplete. Again, just let me know down in the comments below if you have any other ideas or suggestions outside of what was listed in that poll, and please be sure to vote in the poll so I know what we're going to be doing. Otherwise, you're going to be leaving it up to my discretion, my complete and total discretion, and you may or may not like what I choose. But I won't get too much more into that. In fact, I have some other topics that I wanted to talk about. In my live stream, my last live stream last Tuesday, I was talking about setting myself a deadline, a time frame for how long we're going to be hanging out over here with the castle, like this area, versus when we go and actually work on the adventure map itself. And so that's something I wanted to reiterate for a video. And basically I've decided that my goal is, this is episode 24 right now, my goal is to have this castle done and complete with the ability to go to the adventure map by episode 30. That is my loose deadline, and episode 35 is my hard deadline. If something comes up and I just can't get there by episode 30, then I have like that 5-episode little grace period that I'm giving myself to finish up the projects here and get us over to the adventure map finally, so we can at least take a look at the terrain and talk about things we're going to be building there and what we're going to be doing there. We've talked about it a lot, and 35 episodes feels like we're really dragging out getting to the main project. So I don't want to drag it out too long, and by setting a goal for myself, we'll be able to actually get there on time, because that's something that I struggle with, is if I don't have a hard deadline, odds are I won't make myself get there until, it's the last thing on my list to do, and that's not what I want. I want to be able to get there so you guys can, dang it, that way you guys can see it and we can actually work on the main project for this series, for me anyway, my main project. And the next thing that I wanted to talk about, I have this like little list of things that I wanted to just touch on with you guys, and that's why we're building on camera mostly, is so I can talk about those things with you. But the next thing I wanted to talk about has to do with my adventure map. I am not knowledgeable enough especially with the way that they changed the codes for Minecraft. I'm not knowledgeable enough to make my own custom items or my own bosses for something like an adventure map, and I have two different code guys. One guy is making my bosses for me and another guy is making items for me, like the temple items that you'll get when you complete things, right? Or the gear that you'll be wearing. So when you go to the adventure map, you'll find the way to it is actually inside of this castle that we're building right now. And as a rule, players cannot take any items with them. They have to go there totally naked, nothing in their inventory whatsoever, and they are going to find items as they progress through the adventure map that are going to help them. Kind of like what you'd find in a Zelda game. Like you start with nothing, right, and slowly but surely you find your sword and shield, and you get new armors and temple weapons or items or whatever they are. And that's kind of how my map's going to function as well. And speaking of that, I actually just had a meeting today with my item code guy, and he has been making some phenomenal progress. In fact, there's one final minor concern regarding one of the wearable items, and it's so minor that despite the fact if he can fix it or not, it won't actually break anything in the map. So I'm not terribly concerned with it, and basically down to just that item. If he can make it work or can't make it work, it's the last item, and then we'll have all of the items fully coded and done, ready to go. And you know, that's really exciting for myself. I think that's exciting for the other members on the server as well. It's it's gonna be a really fun, great map, I believe, and those items are really going to sell it for us. They're gonna really bring life to this map, and I'm so excited to be able to get them over here. It's going to be a few weeks before they make their way onto the server, but despite that, they will eventually get here, and they're gonna be really cool. You guys watching the videos kind of get some sneak peeks as to what they are and what they do. We're going, because like, without spoiling too much, basically some of the items are required to solve puzzles in temples, and while we're building those temples and designing those puzzles, I need to test them to make sure they work. And I think these are 10 blocks in height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. So in order to test to make sure that they're working, we're going to have to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to have to actually build some of the challenges, the puzzles, and then do it using the items just to confirm that they work. Some of the items are going to be required for solving the puzzles, but all we have to do is just test and confirm that the item works, and we won't necessarily need them for literally testing the puzzle, because we'll know that they work. So obviously they must work within the puzzle as well, based on their very nature. And so that's something that we're gonna get to do and gonna get to work on. But I don't want this episode to drag on too long, guys, and at this point I'm just kind of rambling, so let me kind of work on these walls a little bit, and we'll talk about the walls afterwards. Alright, the walls are starting to look pretty good. I wanted to give us kind of like an approaching feel to it so far. And so this is like, we're coming in from the front right now, where all the gatehouses are going to be. But you can see I got most of the walls installed. They are double-sided, so you can see we got them done on the outside. And if we come around to the inside, you'll see that they are also done. So they're starting to look pretty good. There are some weird blocks with them. Let me grab a few building blocks. It's gonna be night in a moment. There's some weird stuff with it, like right here. because of the angles. Like, it looks like it's just passing right past the backside of the tower. It's mostly okay. We mostly didn't have any problems with that. But if we come to the top, you're gonna see there's some weird consistencies with the oak wood, and I'm kind of torn between completely keeping it and it's just kind of sporadic without any real pattern, and replacing it with just stone bricks, so you can't really discern the pattern. Like, this one actually had a pattern. It's an L shape, and it's an L shape all the way through, all the way till you get to the end. It's like one of the few ones that have a pattern, and of course these straight paths are the easiest. But for the most part, we are rocking it. The walls are looking pretty great. The back side over here is where the castle's going to go, so we're going to have to actually design the castle before we can do that back a little bit and connect them up. And this front bit over here is where another gatehouse is, and a lot of this front stuff is gatehouse work. Like, this is a part of a gatehouse, and that front bit's a gatehouse over there, and it, all this wraps around. So we're actually going to have to build all of that, I think, before we can continue with the rest of this, because I don't actually want to do the castle until the very, very end. But I think that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. Gonna go out to dinner with my family, and we're gonna have a great time, and so this video is gonna be wrapping up right around here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and liking too if you want to push that like button, I guess. Words. Leave a like if you liked, subscribe if you haven't, share with your friends, and I will see you in the next one.